What's up, everybody? It is the one and only Black Monday after show. So Mo's prank on Blair backfires. The SEC interrogates Keith, and Dawn tells Spence she wants a divorce. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
AfterBuzz TV, it is the Black Monday after show. Yay! We made it another week. We are back. Us four are in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Title of this episode, 65 Days Until Black Monday. And then I heard next episode is like a trillion days. So I don't know what they're doing to us. They're playing with our emotions.
That's what happens.
That's all I got to say.
Black Monday.
I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves.
For sure.
It's been a long day, so excuse me, but I'm going to get through it because I got my uptime with me. And next to me is the one and only Angele Taylor in the building.
Hi, guys.
And next to her is her Instagram is real Chae Jones. Chae Jones in the building.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing fine actually. And holding down the anchor is the one and only Kittie, KaBoom.
That's what's up. I need that intro everywhere I go.
Hey,
Can I put you in my back pocket?
I got you.
That's
I got
what's
you.
up. That's better
Trademark.
than theme music.
Trademark. That's what I do. I'm the intro man.
All right.
Yes. So let's break down this episode. What did you guys think? I thought it was one of the best episodes yet.
No question.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, the quick wit is always like, I mean, you can't get past the writing. It's just so well done. Every time you think that they've done the joke, they like redo the joke and then redo the joke. And then you're like, seriously, you have another take on this? I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was really good.
This was actually one of the shortest episodes. Well,
It
was short to me because I guess it was so much in it. I wanted so much more. They fit so much into this, and you kind of got to see who the characters really are in this episode. So, what did you think, Chae?
I liked it. I liked all like the 16 candle references, the Last Dragon references, and the whole penis coladas were really funny.
That was
I wondered if they're
perfect.
virgin or not, but that was just me.
I'm gonna say that they weren't.
We're going to just jump out there on a limb.
Exactly. I think that's
Penis could
safe
never
to
be a
say.
virgin.
Exactly.
Safe
In
to
a
say.
drink.
That kind of is an oxymoron there.
But I will say, I do think, going to the actual layout of this episode, I thought it was interesting because normally we get like a lot of different things going on that they power pack into these 30-minute episodes, right? But they really focused, they honed in. So there was really a lot of Blair and Tiff. We saw a lot of that. We saw Blair and Tiff with Mo and Dawn. We saw that whole situation. And really the only other person that was talked about was Keith.
Exactly.
So they really kind of just honed in. And I think it's because we're really getting down to the wire as far as when this going. I mean, we saw Mo open up. I mean, that was probably the most real moment, in my opinion, Mo opening up to Blair and basically like, look, this is all a sham. Like, I got to be straight with you. I thought that would never happen.
He's so bold. Like, I couldn't even believe he did that.
Yeah.
Like, at this particular time, say it after they get married. Don't, sabotage
I feel like at that point he knew he had to. Otherwise, Blair wasn't going to marry Tiff. He needed to, hopefully, by coming clean, was going to be that catalyst. Like, dude, let's just get paid. You don't want to marry her? That's fine. I just need you to get married, sign on the line so we can take over the company and we're good.
That'll work only if Blair had the type of personality that Mo has.
But
and they are completely different.
They are very different people,
the
but at the same time
is even different.
I agree. They are cut from completely two different cloths. But Mo has definitely groomed him in such a way in this short amount of time that could have went either way. I mean, I kind of held my breath on that one. I saw him being like, he could very well be like, you know what? F it all. Let's get it.
And you think about it, really, because of 65 days until Black Monday, it's been like 10 months.
Exactly.
That he's been working
has.
there. So that says a lot. Now, obviously, Mo is, he's very confident in his abilities of what he does and how he can influence people. So I think he's probably honing on that in the sense that, and you look at Blair, because if you think about it in the first opening scene when he's talking to his girl, Tiff, and he's just like, I'm making some money over there.
Right.
So we can kind of do things a certain way. So he's kind of feeling himself.
Kind of.
And he's getting into the mode. He's still not Mo. He never will be Mo.
He'll never
like
be
you
Mo.
said.
But Mo did a lot of work on him. Like he's grooming him to be this guy. You know what I mean? And so I didn't expect him to come clean either, but I agree with you completely, Chae. That's the only way that he was able to even make any sense of it. At that point, everything was, you just happened to come into the same place that we're in, and you just happened, like there was too much happenstance. And he saw that coming. So he was like,
see, when he thought the cop, like, especially when he said the cops are like, these are just cops you bought, he was putting it together, but not fully having the full picture.
No, he would never put that together on his own.
I get that, guys, but I really feel like the Blair character will draw the line at family and love. I really feel like that's one of those things that are like something he wouldn't compromise on. So me and the love of my life or where my future is going, like, yeah, we can play, we can do drugs, we can have fun. Kiki, you can kidnap me, whatever. But when it comes to my life and my family and my love interest, I feel like Blair, like that's where he wouldn't cross the line.
No,
but he's finding out he's not really in love with her.
Not only that, it's not like he's built with all this super integrity. He wants money just like the rest of them.
Absolutely,
it's just a matter of what level he will get to. You're right.
Gosh. I can't
he's not a family man. He's not a family man.
Like, he still has that.
Sorry.
It's okay,
baby. He's tainted.
You gotta let it go.
He's
tainted.
Angele, he's tainted.
And personally, sometimes when you're doing a con, especially, the truth will also be the thing that save you at the end of the day sometimes too.
Well, that's what Mo was hoping.
Yeah, and the truth will work for you sometimes. So he was hoping for that play too.
Yeah,
that wasn't happening in this case. It wasn't looking good.
Of course, it was not. I want to know from y'all, who do you think is the biggest nerd, Blair or Spence? Because Spence and this nasty telescope talking about, seeing some comments. Nasty, okay. I'm like, yes, it was nasty. I said it. So my thing is, I just want, to me, I'm like, I don't know what Don ever saw in him.
Right?
Because he has zero swag.
I know. Zero. He's a fatty McFat.
Like, he just doesn't, and I don't know.
He's a fatty. That man got hips.
I
don't know.
I have a theory.
He's a grown man with hips.
What is your theory, Chae?
Stability. One, he's a safe bet. He's never gonna really leave her. And
he ain't gonna leave his bed.
Shut up. After she just dealt with Mo and all his craziness, and she needed that stability, safe person choice, and that was Spence. That's what Spence is gonna be. Yeah,
that's what we do. Once we fall out of love with you because you done hurt us so bad or done us dirty or whatever, we feel scorned. We find the polar opposite of that.
Well, he is polar opposite Bear, is what he is. Because he is
nice
too
me.
much. I just don't care for Spence because I feel like no, I'm just serious. I feel like he needs to fight for Dawn. With finding out that they still have not slept in the same bed since this argument.
Okay,
it's been a month.
That's been a month.
It's been 45 days.
It's a long time.
No,
and the fact that
57, it went from 122 to 65.
43, I mean.
So
it's a lot of
122.
days. You guys, it's a lot of days.
That's all.
122 to 65.
Exactly. It's a lot of days.
Right.
Bottom line is she's like, look, I'm sorry.
Right.
Let's get back to love making. Let's get back to being together. And he's just like, I'm gonna be on the couch hugging my telescope, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm tired of him, and I was really. So I'm telling you, this.
But how do you really feel?
Got me going.
How do you really feel?
I know. Tell us how you don't feel.
Let me tell you. And when he said, or when Don said, excuse me, at the end, spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the episode, I want a divorce, I cheered in my heart and outwardly because he's whack.
He is.
Oh my God.
Okay.
No,
he
his
is
character
whack.
is whack.
I'm telling you, he is whack, and Don can do better. And my thing is, if he even tries, let me tell you something, to get her back, she needs to keep cutting him to the curb because he's super whack, and that's why I said it. Boom,
oh my God. Okay, so I believe the original question was, who was a bigger nerd, Blair?
Well, you know my opinion.
Baby, he went on there right for you.
Baby.
I mean, granted, it is Spence. However, I like the fact that he's into astronomy. I think that's adorable. I'm like,
do you now?
I think that's adorably cute, but I find most nerdy things cute. So again, that's me.
So, but of the two, did you think it's Spence?
Oh, I'm choosing Blair, but that's also because it's me. I'm with him. He kind of whack.
What about you? Between the two, who's the nerdiest?
It's definitely Spencer because do you think Spencer would go out on a coke fiasco and stay out all night and
he has to worry about these,
have the girls and
his hands are everything.
Right, like
that's his bread and
the
butter,
fact
baby.
that he got sucker punched and he
didn't allow that to happen.
Like you actually had a conversation after that? Oh, for real? Oh, okay.
That's how they doing it back
Spencer
in the 80s.
is the biggest nerd
He's
ever.
super nerd, and his Cosby sweaters are terrible. He's just all the way around, and I feel like he picked that out on his own. That wasn't even production. All I'm saying is,
it's the character. Don't
okay.
make Kadeem
I know. Don't even try.
No, let me tell you something.
Dude,
I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh
I'm really just taking it to the nth power.
Yes, you are.
Of course, I love Kittie Hardison. Different world. That's my dude, Dwayne Wayne, all day, every day. I should wear my Dwayne Wayne glasses. Maybe next week.
He has them though. He
But
took them.
let me tell you something. What?
I have them.
Oh, you have the Dwayne. Oh, okay. But bottom line, the character Spence is terrible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not terrible. He's just wrong for Dawn. That's like he just needs to find another woman who wants to sit at home, caring about the stars as much as he do. And wants to have a family and who just wants to be a homemaker. Because he tried to turn Dawn into a homemaker, but she ain't gonna be one.
No, he's never tried. I don't see him trying to like corral her in or anything.
He
likes the fact that
wants
they
to
are
put
yin and
a
the yang.
baby in her.
He tried to like
and
get
that's it. He is a corny ball. He wanted to put a baby in her and not let her soar. And really, if you think about it,
and the way he went about it was hilarious. Not a conversation. Not a do you think we could consider parenthood now?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he went to
He is a corny
he's
ball
a
and has no balls because that is why he does not want her to be better than him. That's what I'm saying.
Lem is big man right now.
I know.
He's big man right now.
He does want her to be better because I don't like his character. I'm just saying, like, I just really feel some kind of way. I hope they cut him from the show.
No,
I'm just saying, like,
he adds an element that you find annoyingly pleasurable.
Annoyingly terrible.
Pleasurable.
He's a lovable loser.
Just
Pretty
annoying.
much. No offense, he is a little bit like a lovable loser.
But if she was Dolo, you
just
wouldn't
loser.
enjoy the show that much.
Okay.
I mean, no, you wouldn't enjoy her interactions with other people as much.
Well,
the fact that she has him to come home to and kind of lament and have that safeguard, just like Chae said, that's kind of what we look forward to. Their dynamic is still interesting, despite the fact that he's a super cornball.
Sure.
So granted, I was really happy about her saying I want a divorce because now she's into the real.
Exactly.
It don't matter because Blair ain't. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. I am curious to find out how this situation plans because
because they didn't even address the kids.
Exactly, and Blair put it on her. I think Blair he really did something to Dawn's little psyche, her little Jerry curl. Like he did something.
I know they did the do. They did.
No,
he never came home. What was he doing?
He didn't come home.
He did come
What
home.
were they having
So
a
what were they
conversation?
doing?
They talked all
I
night.
didn't even catch that.
They didn't talk.
How do you not catch that?
That's why the voice. Blair.
Okay.
And which makes her comment, no white dicks after Labor Day even more funnier because like now I'm trying to figure out what time of year we in right now. So what are you doing? Is it before Labor Day? So now it's acceptable for you, Dawn? I'm just questioning it.
So I'm gonna table the next part I was gonna ask until predictions.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
at this point. Before we move on to the next topic, Kittie KaBoom is going to talk about something related to AfterBuzz. Take it away.
This is super important, guys. Every week I say it. Every week you pay attention, so we appreciate you. Listen, we just wanted to say thank you sincerely for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could really use your help, though. Please make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rating on iTunes. Leave us a comment. You know, being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to not just me, but all of us here. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Because it's dope. Are you kidding me? We get to hang out with friends. We get to talk shop. And it can't be nothing better. So thank you so much for supporting us in all that we do. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Appreciate. All right. Let's talk about Brother Keith.
Oh, Lord.
Brother Keith got
Keith went down in
interrogated.
flames.
The SEC went ham on Brother Keith.
Yes.
But he handled it well. I'll give him props.
There was some peaks and valleys.
He had it coming.
There was some peaks and valleys with it. I feel like they kept, they went at him. He held strong. I just wanted him to snatch off his hairpiece. Like one time. I just really was waiting
One time
for
for
him
one
to be
time.
like, you know what? Let me tell you something. And just snatch it off. And then just like the ball head and then they just leave. Like I just
Hit him with
in my mind. mind,
a ghetto woman's
that's how I would have directed it.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, Brother Keith got interrogated by the SEC. We knew this was coming. They were flirting about this all the time.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that whole back and forth?
First of all, I absolutely loved the wordplay. Can I just say the writing
dialogue
is impeccable. Like every time I said it at the top of the show, every time I think that they've done it and then it's going to just end, they outdo themselves.
Sure.
All the plays on the homo word. Come on, you kidding me right now? You're a homo. What they call it?
Color.
That was what they do. Color homo.
Gay centered.
Corners.
They were like
Columbo
fairies.
ho. I mean, come on. And it
Corners was my favorite.
Slipped right out there. I love it. I absolutely. So I enjoyed it very much. That whole banter back and forth. The fact that they thought they had him under the gun. What really was hilarious was almost cartoonish when they were like, okay, well, if that's not going to get you, you just wait right there. We're going to get you with something. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Who would sit still for that?
No,
you guys
Keith,
look ridiculous.
Right? I would have walked out.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I mean, he's a smart dude, obviously.
Smart enough.
And my thing is, when they brought up the Georgina play, do you think he was playing them, or do you think he really thought like, oh, you got me? Because then the next thing we see after that is him go to his boy and without his hairpiece, by the way.
Right.
He did snatch it off, you know, off camera. But he goes to his boy and then, you know, they have a guy who's like, I want to give you this and takes it out of his ear, the tie pin that magically keeps going to other people.
Exactly.
Changing hands and gives it to him and says like, this is a big deal. And they kind of have this moment and then that's it. What do you think that signified?
I think the fact that he said at the very end, just remember, no matter what happens, I'll always love you. That was telling. Because I would have assumed that it was all a game, that he was playing them like, oh, I'm caught. F me. Oh, no. Whatever shall I do? When for real, in his mind, he's like, I got this. I already know how I'm about to do this play. Or at least his wheels were turning to figure something out. But I think he was sincere only because of what you just said. When he got to the boyfriend.
How valuable could the tie pin really be to Keith if Mo gave it to him just to piss Blair off? Like, really? That's not a sentimental piece.
Yeah, it is.
No,
I think it is.
For Keith, because Mo gave it to him, it's sentimental.
Oh, no, not because Mo gave it to him.
Okay, but what makes it sentimental?
Maybe because there's a part of it because Mo gave it to him. Because even though he doesn't necessarily like Mo, he respects him. He respects the hell out of him. So for him to get any gift, think about it. All Mo does is come in the room, knock everything off the table, knock everything out your hand. So if I'm actually giving you something, it holds some weight.
So that you can piss someone else off with it. So you're like a means to an end.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like I just didn't get why it was so valuable for Keith and to give it to his lover. I think that
for
was
me,
pretty.
it was a telling choice because I feel like that was him. I'm gonna F Mo over to protect you. Mm-hmm. Like that seriously is what I got out of it.
So that's what that signified to you.
That's what it signified to me in the sense of just like as soon as they were like, because he didn't care about his son. He was like, my son's not going to college. We're good. I'm not worried about that.
I ain't worried about that.
Not smart.
Not really.
Right.
He's not going to college. We're great. We're gonna be fine. But then when they brought up, Mike, the boyfriend, he like really had to think. He's like, I really care obviously a lot more about my man than I do about my children and son. So, and the fact that he did, switch it over and give it to Mike, that was, I feel like, a symbol of just saying, what I'm about to do is for you and to protect you. And
I think it's interesting because it's kind of like a theme within a theme, because we know at the very opening scene of this show, that pin is on the person that plummets down into the car. So it's just I love the story, how that keeps shifting hands,
as do I,
and who it's going to end up with, because we still don't know. I know you say it's a black person.
I took a picture of it just for you.
But it's just interesting to see, because we don't know who that person is and who that is going to end up being.
Right, and their fate. How does it come down to that?
Right,
but I do really appreciate the fact that there's a physical symbolism that keeps making its rounds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it means you got to pay attention. As soon as you see somebody pull that out, it's like, oh, okay, what's about to happen with it?
Right.
How many episodes do we have left?
That's a good question.
It's 10 episodes altogether. I think we're on episode 7, right?
Three left?
Yeah, about that, right?
Is it about that? Well, if we're at 65, it's got to be getting close, even though it's going to be 1,000 hours.
You guys have 3 left.
Or something.
Our engineer, Bree, said we have 3 shows left.
Yeah, and I mentioned so the audience can hear me. So you have 3 left. It's titled 7,062, I believe, is what next week, and then 2, and then 0.
Boom.
Well, there we go.
There it is.
Straight like that.
Boom.
Maybe they're gonna jump like way back into like what the 40s.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Well, from the
That would be too fair.
I don't
Days
think
until Black
like
Monday.
they're gonna go to like Mo being born and then family like I don't know. I don't think
That's
so.
a stretch.
You know what? For next week's episode,
Yeah.
it's the wedding.
We shall see.
Yeah, it's
Or not.
obviously
She just got kidnapped.
It signifies.
I don't know.
The promo was a wedding, so I'm
How she gonna
assuming.
get married and she just got kidnapped.
Right.
I'm assuming they found
Yeah,
her because I was confused by that too.
Well, that's what's great
That's
about the
what's
show.
so great about
Keeps
the
us
show.
guessing.
It
Keeps
does
us guessing.
that. It does.
I want to get into my favorite part of this episode, which was Mo and Blair and the whole fiasco with the cops.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. So Mo basically starts off by, we see in the first opening scene that Blair gets kidnapped, right? And so we're like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
And then we see him in the car and he's basically getting mad at Mo because like, oh, you kidnapped me because it was a prank, right? To get the, party started. And so, they're driving in their car, in Mo's car, and then they pull off. And of course, they see these 2 like grimy dudes.
They get jacked for real.
Exactly. And get jacked for real. But Blair still thinks it's a prank.
Right.
And he's still talking and all that kind of stuff. And they really leave in the car. And then it just spirals out of control.
As it normally
Exactly.
does.
Which is telling of a few things. Number one, a lot of 80s movies, you would see that. It would start with something, and there would be like Adventures in Babysitting is a prime example. It's a great movie where it just starts with one thing, and then it's something, and then it spirals to something else.
It's like a cause and effect thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
like
just gets
butterfly
really out of-
effect thing.
Boom.
Yeah.
boom.
That's like the quickest one I could think of.
Right, of course.
It's a whole snowball effect.
I love that movie though.
Yeah. So in that, I have to bring this up because it's going to segue into our special segment. And we got our special segment music right now.
Yeah.
Name this tune. If you're live in the chat,
Yes.
name this tune.
Yes.
That's right. Date yourself.
Yes, exactly. So there was a line in here when they're kind of getting jacked, and Mo says, "Yo, we gotta go Last Dragon on him." And so
Yes.
I have to bring this up because, first of all, as you can see, I have my Bruce Leroy Show Enough T-shirt. And this was a movie, actually, that came out. We have the image on the screen. So The Last Dragon came out in 1985. Let me just preface by saying this is my favorite movie
Of all time? Are you serious?
I'm not even joking. Of all the
Damn, now I
entire
gotta
universe.
go watch it.
All the
It's
universe.
on Netflix.
Came out, it just came out on Netflix,
It's on
which
Netflix.
they finally got here.
Wait a minute.
Exactly. Last Dragon,
Just now coming out?
Yeah, like last
1985.
month.
It was
Surprising.
directed by Barry Gordy,
Yes.
who we know from music, a lot of
course,
Motown
of
stuff.
course.
But he directed this music. Tay-Mac, who I don't think was in anything
else?
but
He
this
made
movie.
his debut and then he was out of there.
Played
with
Bruce
his
Leroy.
fine self.
Bruce Leroy. Let me tell you, as a black kid growing up in the 80s,
It was everything.
karate movies were everything.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings,
Right.
you wake up,
You watch
and it's like,
cartoons and you watch your
Thank you.
kick butt movies.
Kitty ain't gonna let me
I'm
talk.
aware.
She ain't gonna let me
I'm
explain
not,
nothing.
I'm not,
She ain't gonna
baby.
let me explain nothing.
not. Sorry, baby.
So you get up and you watch these movies. Now, when this movie came out, you had the best of both worlds because you never really saw in these karate movies someone that looked like you.
Right.
And so this movie comes out and you got this guy, Bruce Leroy. That just says it all right there. That's all you need to know.
Enough said.
His name was Bruce Leroy.
He's
Let's
black.
start there.
Exactly.
Pretty
He's
much.
black.
And he was
Leroy.
the title character played by Tay-Mac. And then Vanity, who was basically the Halle Berry of the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
She was super fine. Let me tell you.
Why you ain't got a picture of her?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, she's
Come on, Vanity.
She's on there. She's on there. She's
Vanity
on
is
the
everything.
picture that we showed. But she was super fine. And let me tell you something. Just a side note. She ended up in real life becoming a minister, and she ended up speaking.
Isn't that crazy?
In Stockton, where I lived before I moved to LA.
You better come
and
on
I
with
got
your
prayed
country self.
by her.
You got me country. You from
Because it was Vanity, and I was like, I gotta ever touch my friend. Let me tell you something. the best thing ever. It was the
There
best
she is
thing
right
ever.
there.
Cannot get on the
There she
map.
go, baby. There she
Vanity,
go.
I'm telling you, man.
It looked like Apollonia.
I'm telling you, look, let me tell you
That was
something.
always the argument:
dude,
who's better looking,
Let me
Vanity or
tell you
Apollonia?
something. Light skin ruled the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So all the light skinned guys look alike and all light skinned girls look alike. So it just looks like they all look the same. But Vanity was the bomb. And there was just so much to that movie. But I'm so glad they featured that movie. I'm wearing the shirt. So,
I did not know she became a minister. She went from sex shooter.
She was exactly. She became a minister.
Yes.
You know, and
That song was everything.
she's gone now.
You know, you memorized
rest
that
in
part.
peace. But yeah, she became a minister. She was a minister for years before she ended up passing away.
I did not know that.
I do love
Where
that
did she
movie.
pass?
It's been a while. It's been a while. She passed away. I can't remember. She had some type of illness that she passed away from because she wasn't that old. But yeah, God rest her soul. But yeah,
Right.
Vanity was the bomb. So that's going to segue into
God bless
what
her
is
back.
your favorite quote of the show
Sorry,
today?
not to interrupt her fast, but I just looked it up. She passed away February 15th, 2016.
There we go.
Oh, it's only 2 years
not
ago.
too long ago.
From
Yeah.
what? Does it say? Bree?
Let me check 1 second.
She's going to check.
Keep going, keep talking, and I'll
In
look
the
this up.
meantime,
She's Miss
favorite
Apollonia.
quote.
My favorite quote would have to be Columba Ho. That was it for me. They call them girls Columba hoes. And that's Columbo with the hoes.
In the
They're like,
scene
yeah, we
where
good.
Keith is with the SEC.
Right,
Yeah.
with the SEC
Yeah.
women.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Okay, that's yours.
It is yours, but because you're gonna use it, I'm not gonna say it.
I was like, I dare you. I dare you say my quote.
I mean, technically, I already said it before you, but still. Anyway, the Last Dragon reference is still like everything, and talking about 16 Candles. The whole talking about how Ted got the girl's panties, but like the way they talked about it, I was also just like, I don't think you understood that scene whatsoever. I don't think you grasped what that scene was about. But okay, because you're creepy. But okay, cool.
Okay,
part.
so my favorite quote is, aside from many others, "No white dicks for me after Labor Day." That was epic. No
She was
white
like,
dicks.
"Here,
So are we
one
talking
time?"
about Blair's white dick, or are we talking about just in general?
I think it was a generality. And she can't jump out there and say too much
And
about
then
Blair's white hair.
also, when the server came at Tiff's failed bachelorette party, would you like a pina colada? And yes, I want to taste the pina colada.
I want to see what that's
Do
all
y'all
about
want to
myself.
taste the pina colada?
I do.
It is virgin.
Oh, God. Womp, womp.
We need the music.
There is no virgin.
That's what we need.
I don't drink, so yeah, it has to be a version of that.
on
We
that
get
But
it. We
virgin
just-
and
right.
penis don't go together, boo. So
I
you
know.
won't be drinking that one this evening.
I want to
Okay.
just chime in
I'll
and say
take water.
penis and virgin do go together. There's a lot of virgin penises out there.
Oh,
Very good point.
That
Miss
is
Bree.
true.
Bree with
Very
the
good.
shade.
Right. Okay, Miss Bree.
With the shade.
thanks for having my
From
back,
the
Bree.
booth.
Somebody has to have my back up in here.
She didn't really have your back, but that's cool. If that's what you
She was
think.
kind of making sure that I understood the dynamics of penises, but we all get it.
I'm done with all of you.
I love how
I have to find out which
Bree
host
then
is
puts
still a
on this.
virgin.
What is this bass music?
It's called trash talk music.
Trash on
Oh, is that what
music.
it-
I love
Which
that.
obviously you're the proprietor of. I had no
Right,
idea you had it in
exactly.
you, Bree.
Oh,
I had
Bree,
no idea.
Bree will shade you
Bree
in a
will
second.
come with it.
Just like, and then smile and then walk away.
Right.
Like,
Like,
and
thank
you don't
you
even
for that.
know.
I have
and
the
you don't even
surprise
know.
shade.
Exactly.
Thank you. Now carry on.
Exactly. All right. So speaking of the colladas that we were discussing, we did. This all happened at Tiff's bachelorette party of 2, because that's all that was there for the time being. Dawn shows up, thinks she's gonna get in there, right? 20 minutes, and then like kind of, oh, I gotta go,
Right.
and then she's like, no, because there's literally no one else there.
Yeah.
And so they kind
I
of,
was so sad for her.
right, very sad.
Yeah,
They
I
start
was.
talking, and they kind of bond over it, but then also there's very telling the things that they discuss.
Exactly.
And Dawn kind of gets a revelation about the situation.
Midway through.
Exactly.
Her point in going was kind of she was in there. She was driving it home. She meant every word she said. Then here comes Mo. Oh, I didn't know you were coming in. He drives it home. And then all of a sudden she had an epiphany and was like, this is my life. Like, I'm literally living this.
Like, one of the things I picked up was that Dawn went in with the intention to bring them together.
Right.
And then at the end of it, once she reached her epiphany and she started empathing, and I guess she was like putting herself in a situation with her husband Spencer.
Exactly.
And she realized what was it, a Ted and a Jake.
The hottie or the nerd, basically.
Right. So once she did that in her mind, she went into this very honest place that she wasn't originally in.
Exactly.
She was in a very dishonest and deceptive place when she first got there, and then she turned into like someone really trying to help the situation, really in it for her to make the right decision.
Right.
Like, regardless of how much money is on the line, I really want you to make the right decision about who you're about to marry.
Exactly.
And that's where we see when we get to the scene, because obviously Dawn's seeing that about Tiff and Blair, but more importantly, she's seeing it about herself and her own situation, which is why we see when she goes back to Spencer, and she's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's okay. And he's like really trying to be comforting, and so she's like, actually, I want a divorce.
Yeah.
And that's what she gets from spending that time with Tiff.
Exactly. She didn't even build it up. She didn't even go in there and try to sugarcoat, which I completely respect about her. She was like, this is how I felt before I left. Some shit went down. Now I'm back, and this is how I feel now.
Right.
And it's going down.
Right. So we also see that Mo kind of tries to save face with Blair, because again, he tries the honest route, hoping that it's going to, turn out good, and just basically say, look, Blair, this is the situation, because he's got so much writing on this, right? Now he sees Dawn's unraveling. There's so much else going on outside of that. So he's like, look, let me just be clean. Go clean with him. Let me tell him what's up, and basically let's get this money, and then you can do whatever afterwards.
Right.
I just need to get this money. Let's get this money together. And of course, Blair's not with it. Do you think that Blair will actually get with it, or do you think he's going to stick with his guns and not marry?
He's going to change his mind.
You think he's going to change his mind?
I don't.
Why do you think he's going to change his mind?
Only because the promo at the end, like, no, seriously, because he used Mo's philosophy to him. He was just like, you know what, F them all. So I don't know what causes him to say that, but that's also telling of how much time he spent with Mo, and just to realize that if he's gonna be miserable, at least he should get paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Blair has a lot of things, like a lot of resentment towards Tiff, especially like when he found out he was a Ted versus a Jake.
And can I just say,
I think
nothing's
it
wrong
was
with
a
Ted.
transition right there. He was like, wait a minute, I thought I was a Jake. Like, so you really don't think I'm cool? Like, you don't really think I'm that guy?
Exactly.
So it was kind of a betrayal remark, that she knows that she's not getting with the cream of the crop, and she's settling. Like, that's what it said to me, and it probably said that to Blair, which may have a turn of events later on down the line.
Yeah.
And nothing's wrong with a guy who's a Ted if he's right for you. Like, just because you're picking a safe choice doesn't mean something's wrong with you. I personally like a Ted who's going to be there if I'm actually compatible with that person. But if I'm going to settle, at least give me a hot one.
But if you Sasha Fierce, you don't really,
Well,
you ain't checking for a Ted. You checking for a
Jay-Z.
Right. At the end of the day, to me, it's about settling. And it doesn't matter who the person is. If you're settling, whether they're a Ted, a Jake, a Spence, Hakeem, it does not matter. Settling is settling. If you're settling for somebody that's really turns up, or somebody who's safe, settling is settling. If they're not the person that you need or you're compatible with, or that is going to empower and impact your life, then you shouldn't be with them. And I think we're seeing this kind of come to a head in this particular episode with these couples.
You better preach, Lem.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be interesting going from now into which is why we see at that last scene, which I think is telling, we see Blair just kind of like, all right, he's just down on his luck. Right. He's sitting there, and then he basically sees his girl get kidnapped, and then boom.
And it changes his whole... But when he walked in the room, he kind of surprised me. Are you crying? Are you okay?
Right.
I didn't expect to hear him say that.
He does care.
He does care about her. I just don't think that he sees her as his forever. Yeah. And there's a huge difference between that. You can care about somebody and hope that they don't die tomorrow or be kidnapped, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I'm for you.
Blair and Tiff do not belong together.
At
I'm just
all.
putting it out there.
Whatsoever.
All the time, they always argue. They always talk. I mean, that opening scene, she's got the nair and it's permeating through the room.
Right.
And it's just like there's nothing there. I mean, I think they were, high school sweethearts or college sweethearts or whatever,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of just stuck with that. But it's like, I think him kissing Dawn or having that little interaction with Dawn is just showing him, not that he necessarily needs to be with Dawn, but that he just shouldn't be with Tiff.
Well, let me interject. They say once you go black, you don't go back. So once he got a taste of Dawn, that fire and desire turned up.
Hey.
Enough said. Wedding canceled. Over and out. We done.
Okay. Rick James in the building. Okay.
Rick James.
I'm just saying the hair, no offense, because your hair is curly all the time.
You're calling her Rick James?
Okay.
We gotta get that theme
And
music.
drop the mic.
You're better than Rick James.
There it is.
Let's take this off the table because we had our meeting last show. We're going to be nice.
Yeah.
We're going to be nice.
I didn't even mean it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
You just called her a man, bro.
Yeah, Rick James of all people.
Of all men.
I like Rick James.
But it's okay, Shay. We're gonna move on for your
Yeah.
own safety.
I'm not the best. Move down my shade tree.
We're gonna move on,
I
Shay.
got a couple branches on my shade tree, but we ain't moving down that tree.
Shay, we're gonna
And
dead it.
you're gorgeous.
We are going to.
She knows she's gorgeous.
You know what we gonna do? We gonna do predictions.
Hey!
Let's do predictions. Let's do that. So Shay can still be alive.
I'm going to predict that if she come for me. Hey, show canceled.
Shay,
What's your prediction, Shay?
Shay be writing.
Call her Shade now.
Shay be writing.
New name,
Shay.
Shade.
Shade.
Shade. What's your prediction?
Okay, my prediction is like I've been saying, I really think that Blair's gonna come to the dark side because Tiff and him just don't get along, but I also feel like this is also a nice way to screw her and her family over because she always makes him feel like he's not a real man at the same time. Emasculating him. And that's getting old. You can just tell it's getting old for Blair too. That's also why there's a tension in the relationship. And I don't know what Keith's about to do with the SEC though.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
It's looking crazy.
It's looking stupid.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I predict that I have no idea what Blair is going to do, but I know that he ain't going back to where he started from.
Yeah.
I believe that he's walking
Totally
away
agree.
from this situation, and he's fine with that. He's going to figure it out on his own. He's not going to marry that daggone girl. And they definitely have got this man Keith by the balls. So I predict that he's going to turn everybody in, that he's just going to be a rat. He's like, well, I went hard in the paint for this way, and it didn't work out. That's pretty much all I know how to do. Either I'm a pansy or I go hard in the paint. So this is him going hard in the paint just for the other team.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of right there with Kitty. I think Keith is going to take care of numero uno. I don't really think he gives a damn about his boyfriend. I don't think he gives a damn about his son, his wife, or anybody else on that floor. I think it's all about Keith, and if he's going to save his ass, he's going to save his ass. Even though he wouldn't probably mind jail. I mean, hey. But anyways, what you thinking, Lem?
Like I said, I really, this was my favorite episode, since the season started. I think it's going to be a turning point in what we see, especially knowing that we have 3 episodes left to kind of get down to the end and show, how everything pans out. My thing is, I'm just really curious as to the whole situation. Obviously, we see that there's a kind of wedding, maybe not a wedding, or attempt at a wedding. But the fact that Tiff gets kidnapped, and I can't see this being a prank. You know what I'm saying? Because we've already seen that being a prank.
Right.
So I
There's
can't see
been
them
so
using
many
that
pranks like this, though.
Right.
Yeah,
but
Her dad was worried because, he had threatening letters.
Well, the Calvin Klein daughter.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
She was kidnapped.
She was. So, I don't know. But I'm just really curious to see, the way they ended it.
Yeah.
How that's going to, they're going to
Play
stem
out.
from that and play that out.
Yeah.
But I think that there's definitely, I do think that Keith is going to, he's going to be a snitch. And he's going to snitch to save, basically, because I really think he was bluffing when they was like, oh, you can tell, y'all don't need my son. You can tell my wife.
Oh,
you can tell my family. He was bluffing.
He really cares.
He really cares.
Yeah.
Because, he's trying to save face. So I think that he's going to turn, but he's not going to tell anybody. And then he's going to try to see it play out.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to cut it short. I think he's going to let it all explode with the way that the SEC wants it to, and then before you know it, he's just going to step back out of the fray.
I think he's going to quit before that.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to let it all. No, I think the explosion is going to happen while he's backing out the door, because I think he can't help himself. He wants to see it because he's that guy. You know what I mean? Anything that creates an explosion.
He's a snake.
He's a snake. He wants to be part of that.
I don't know why I have feeling like Mo's going to catch him
before it happens,
trying to be a snitch or something.
Because most too caught up with the genes.
True.
Yeah.
The genes.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we have 3 more episodes to see it.
It's going to be awesome.
But ladies and gentlemen, that has been our episode. We want to thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you comment, because all of these questions that we have, we want to know what you think. So comment. Let us know what you think about the episode. Do you think Dawn is going to really leave Spence? She should. Do you think he's going to leave? Do you think that Blair and Tiff are going to get married? For sure.
No.
What do you think is going to happen with Mo? Who's he going to marry? We just want to know what you think.
Mo's not marrying anybody.
He wouldn't marry his robot, but
ever.
I was just going to say. So we don't know.
Just saying.
But that's been our episode.
Yeah.
I have been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me everywhere at Lem Gonsalves, and make sure you check out my website to see everything that's going on with me, stayonthemic.com. Angele, where are you at?
Hey guys, it's Angele Taylor. You can find me everywhere at Angele Taylor _.
Hey guys, you can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. At 10 o'clock, right after this show, I'm doing Now Apocalypse. I'm super excited. It's going to get crazy. And Tuesdays, 8 p.m., Good Trouble.
That's what's up. Find me, Kitty KaBoom, KITTIE, because I'm an individual. KaBoom, baby, on IG, Facebook, Twitter. You'll figure it out.
Figure it out. You will figure it out, just like we figured out that we're awesome. And we will see you next week. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.